Good morning, class. Today we will talk about the first farmers. The first farmers. The first farmers are very important when you study history. Because the first farmers were the first people who stayed in one place together for a long time. So they were the first people to build great cities, to build great buildings and so on. The first people to write and read. When we talk about the first farmers, we will also compare a little bit. We will compare the first farmers in the West and the first farmers in the East. We will compare China and a place called Mesopotamia. So that is what we will do today. Let's think about these. The first farmers. Let's think about it. This would have been a long time ago, before anyone could write anything down. We usually say that the first farmers lived 8,000 years ago. 8,000, some people say 6,000, some people say 9,000. 8,000 is maybe a good estimate. These first farmers, we will think about what they ate, a little bit about how they lived, and in the end, if we have time, we will think about what rules they could have had. So, if you live a long time ago, there's a lot of dangerous animals, there's not a lot of people, there's not a lot of food, and you don't have any iPhones, you don't have any real houses, you don't have any electricity, you don't have any water. Where do you start? What do you need to be a farmer? First thing is you need something that you can grow. And to have something grow, you are going to need some water. Can you use water from the ocean? No, because of the salt. You need water from a river. So, I want to draw this story for us. I want to draw it on the whiteboard. To have a river, what do you need? What do you need to have a river? You need to have mountains. The rain water comes down from the mountains. Let's start. Here we have the mountains. Like this maybe. And from the mountains we get the water. Going down like this maybe. Out into the ocean. The ocean right here. Here we have a river. And we have some water for things to grow. The easiest way to grow things is to grow them next to the river. Next to the river. What more do farmers have? What more do they have? Animals. The farmers have animals. Maybe they have oxen. Yeah, I'm not that good at drawing. We have sheep, maybe. Pigs. Pigs. We would have had some pigs. Okay. What more do we need? What more do we need? To be a farmer, we also think about the weather, mustn't we? Can you be a farmer on the top of a mountain? No, it's too cold. Can you be a farmer in the desert? It's too hot and dry. We will need the right weather. We will need the right weather. So we will need a bit of rain, at least. And we will need one more thing that is a little bit more difficult. We need a place that many people can travel to. Remember, I said to you, the first farmers were the first people who built cities. A lot of people living together in one place. So if you're going to have everyone living together, you need to have a place that you can travel to easily. A place you can travel to with your animals and with a lot of people. So we can build our cities. Let me write these 4 things down for us, and we will look at all of them. Traveling, animals, weather, and the river valleys. These 4 things. I want to talk about each of these 4 things now. Each of them. So, we said we need river valleys, we need animals, and we need places that are easy to travel to, and we need weather. These 4 places, they have all these 4 things. These are the 4 oldest places in Europe and Asia where people started living. And Africa, of course, because we have Egypt here. The Nile, the river in Egypt. We have Mesopotamia. Mesopotamia. It's an old word. It means the land between the rivers. We have 2 rivers right here. We have the Indus Valley, Indus, of course, for India, and China, the Huanghe River Valley. These 4 places. We will be looking at China and Mesopotamia, because Mesopotamia, in many ways, is where the West started, you could say. Yeah. For the weather, warm summers, not too cold winters, of course. We will talk more about these 4 things. Now, when it comes to river valleys, let's take a closer look. A river valley will look like this. You have the water coming down from the mountains, just like in my picture, but the important thing is that the river goes up and down, up and down. Sometimes it's high, a lot of water. Sometimes it's low, only a little water. On these yellow parts, you have water when the water is high, but no water when the water is low. So when the water is low, you can grow things there. It's easy to get things to grow, like rice. For example, right here, when the water goes down, you grow your rice. A very easy way to do farming, and the first way to do farming everywhere in the world. It looks the same in Mesopotamia, in Egypt, in India, in China. It looks like this. Yeah, the flooding. Oh, there's a W here, of course. Flooding makes it easy to grow, makes it easy for things to grow. And it's also a place to meet. A place to meet. Why do people come to a river? For water, you can drink the water. For animals, they also want to drink the water. And for fish. Fish. To eat. Maybe it looks like this. You've got the river, you've got the mountains, a lot of people here with their very simple houses. A dog, they will probably have some other animals too. You also need some animals. This is a difficult word. When an animal lives with humans, we say it is domestic. Domestic! Yeah, domestic. So, domesticable would be an adjective saying that the animal can live with humans. Not every animal can live with humans. Tigers can't, for example. But pigs can. You know, in China, if we look at really old things we have found, we can see that pigs were the first animals that lived with humans in China. Maybe that is why Chinese people love pork so much, I don't know. For the meat. And we have cows, oxen, sheep, and horses. I have this beautiful picture where they keep all of them together. This one is from Africa, though. And it is not 6,000 or 8,000 years old. It is maybe 3,800 years old, is what we think. Keeping the animals together so they don't run away. You can get milk, you can get hide, the skin of the animals. Wool, the hair of the sheep. And meat, of course. Dogs. Why do we need dogs? Well, dogs, you know, we say dog. The dog is man's best friend, right? The dog can help humans with a lot of things. We would say that the dog can help us hunt. It can take care of the other animals. And it can guard you against wild animals, against animals that are not domestic. In the beginning, the dogs would just follow the humans and eat the meat that they left. And then the humans and the dogs started working together. I think this is a funny picture. The dogs, they are following the humans and they say, cooked meat, wheels to chase, wheels to run after. What is he saying? A fire to bask by, a fire to enjoy. And we have, fellas, friends, we are done evolving. We can just live with these humans now. Dogs love humans, humans love dogs. It's been like that for thousands of years. We said places that are easy to travel to and from. Places that are easy to travel to and from. For people to get together in a city. Trading is an important thing. Maybe I have too much fish. And the fish is going to smell bad tomorrow. I need to give it to you because you have a lot of animal skins, a lot of fur and hides to keep me warm. Or in this picture, it's fish and grains. It could be rice or wheat. For herding animals. When you get together, you need to have a lot of space to move all your animals to the new place. The weather. The weather needs to be temperate. Temperate. This means not too cold, not too warm. We would have something like, if you look at this, what is this? This is time. This is how many years ago it is about. You can see here that maybe 11,000 years ago, it was very cold. It gets warmer, warmer up here, up, down. Around here is when we have the first farmers. You can see they start farming when it gets warmer. It can't be too cold. You also need to have rain seasons. That is, at one part of the year, there is a lot of rain. But you can't have rain all of the year, because then the ground will it will become mud. It will not be firm enough. Yeah. Now, we have these four important things. Traveling, animals, weather, and river valleys. And we have them in China, and we have them in Mesopotamia, the land of two rivers, remember? The start of the West. Let's take a look at what is the same, what is similar, and what is not the same, the differences. All of these early farming cultures, all of these early farmers, they lived in places that looked similar, but some differences. In Mesopotamia, there were more different animals, different kinds of animals, and different peoples. That is, different groups, different people groups. You can, in a way, you can see why if you look at this map. Because you have Mesopotamia here. It's close to Africa, it's close to Europe, it's close to Asia, it's close to India. It's right in the middle. The Chinese example is at the end of the Eurasian continent, or to the very east in Asia. So they can't reach as many different places. Because of this, there would have been more diseases. Diseases. Yeah, diseases. Of course, it is when you get sick, when you get ill. People would have gotten ill more a long time ago in Mesopotamia. And more different kinds of food. In China, they would have started out with millet, which is a small, hard, round thing. You can put it in water and boil it. And rice, of course, rice. But in Mesopotamia, it was wheat and flax. We don't care about flax. We will talk a lot about wheat. Why is this important? Oh, yes. This is millet, by the way. This is what it looks like. You can buy it anywhere. This is important because growing rice makes you work harder over a longer period of the year. And also, it makes you live closer together. That sounds strange. Why? Let's think about this. Let's think about this. In Mesopotamia, more diseases, more people getting ill early, means that people learn to live with more kinds of diseases. More different groups of people, animals, and food is more trading. More trading with different kinds of people from different continents. And the work would have been a bit more relaxed for a long time of the year, and then you work hard for a while. And here is the answer to the question on the last picture, on the last slide. Wheat grows over large areas. It grows over a very large place. So let's say this is Mesopotamia here. Oh, this is M for Mesopotamia. The wheat would have grown all over the place. You need a very large place to grow a lot of wheat. And for most of the year, you don't need to work at all. You just need to sit, relax, and watch it grow. And then for 2 months maybe, in August and September, you need to work very hard. You need to work very hard. And then you can relax again, because you have the food. In China, on the other hand, let's draw China down here. The same thing here, the same mountains. And you have the rivers coming down, going out into the ocean, the Pacific Ocean, I guess. And you have some animals. but the rice is a little different. We have one thing here. Fewer groups of people from other continents. The trading was within China. Well, within what is China today. Of course, at this time it was not a country. But you traded with other people living in the lands that are China today. And you have harder work for a longer part of the year. Rice is different. Rice needs to grow closer together. Maybe like this, very close. Maybe you have seen how rice workers worked a long time ago, the rice farmers. They would go in this deep water like this, and they would need to harvest the rice. And the rice plants grow very much together. Very much together. It also says, later it says terrace farming. Terrace farming is when you have, it looks like steps like this. You grow the rice very close together on the side of the mountain. Very Chinese. Has anyone been to Guilin? Guilin, I have been. I love Guilin. You can see these beautiful rice terraces in different colors. Thousands of years, Chinese people have been doing this, of course. But you need to have them very close together, and you need to work hard for a long time, for a good portion of the year. And people, because of this, they would need to live close together. Here, you can live far from each other if you want to. Here you need to live very close together. Because the rice is close together. This would have made Mesopotamia look outwards to the other continents it was trading with. It would have made people feel more like they are by themselves because they live far apart. On the other hand, in China, people lived close together. If you live close together, there can be a problem. I will tell you a story. I had a good friend in university. We were such good friends that we moved in together. We lived together, me and my friend. But after 1 year, I could not stand him. I could not be with him. I was so tired of him. Sometimes when you live together, you fight. And if you fight a lot, you're going to need a lot of rules. Like our rules in the classroom. You can see how living close together, because you are growing the rice, makes you need stronger rules. It makes you need to think about the group together instead of just thinking about yourself. Later, in the next class, we will talk about how this has made history, in a sense. How this has made people think differently later, and how it has created these two very different peoples.